Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. News and notes, as we do on Wednesdays, yet changed from Tuesdays. It's going to be Wednesdays this year, and that's going to be a regular thing. So you can plan on that. All right, so today, 16 days left to the beginning of the season. And yeah, I know we're all very much stoked. Now, today is later on in the day. We have a rebrand going, which we've known about. The Thunderbirds have said that they're doing the rebrand today. Starting today, they are officially the Twin Cities Thunderbirds. Yes, that's the logo that is on the thumbnail. I put it out there because it's already out on the web. So I'm not the first to post it. But yeah, that is your first look at the logo. It's simple, it's direct, it's no frills. There you go. We'll see how fans react to it, but nonetheless, yeah. So starting today again, you're not going to be saying Carolina Thunderbirds, or maybe you will out of habit. I'm sure I'll have a few Freudian slips between now and the early part of the season, but yeah, it's the Twin City Thunderbirds. So that is the big event of the day. All right, I just want to go back again and touch on this because, again, there's a lot of people that are still confused as far as if you go to the transactions page on the Fed website and trying to decide and decipher what does this mean? Sign PTO, sign this, sign that. What's all these different things mean? And there's three different kinds of signings. So I want to go through this. Now, I'm going to take a minute to explain the first one because that's where there's the most confusion. Signed PTO. Now, last year we had 4-game PTOs, almost like temporary players. And if a player was signed to a 4-game PTO, it just said signed PTO. Those don't exist this year, okay? The roster is up to 20 instead of 19. We have 20 people on the team roster starting the beginning of the season. Right now, it's like 30 or 35. But anyway, once we get to the regular season, okay, you'll see signed PTO. That is basically, this is the definition right now. It's a placeholder. If you're a player and you're gonna sign and play for my team, I sign you to a PTO. Basically, it's an agreement that says I hold your FPHL rights, so you can't just arbitrarily go and sign with Joe Schmo's team. Yeah, you either have to let me trade you or outright release you, whatever, or you play for my team. So that's the primary function of it, okay? And every single person that comes into the FPHL has to sign a PTO, and then they sign the standard contract, which is saying we're going to pay you X amount of money per week. You're on our payroll, you're on our roster. So that's the primary reason for it. In some cases, it kind of is a tryout, especially for first-year pros, but for the majority of people who are signing these PTOs, they've either played in Europe or the SPHL or another league, and so they're still signing PTOs because that's a requirement of the league. But now you're agreeing to play for my team. unless somebody from the ECHL or the SPHL calls and you said, hey, we've got an opening on our camp roster. Do you want to come? Then you come to me, say, look, I got an offer from the Cincinnati Cyclones to play for, participate in their camp. All right, agreed. I'll loan you to Cincinnati. I hold your Fed rights. So if you do, if things don't work out in Cincinnati or in the ACHL, you come back to the Fed, you're playing for me. So that's what that is all about. Okay, it's not like Parker Moskal is going to be trying out for the Monroe Moccasins. That'd be really weird, trying him out for his own team. But anyway, that is how signed PTO is defined. Now, signed, just signed, that is an American-born player that does not require a travel visa, signs a standard contract. When it says signed a player agreement, that is a Canadian or a Finn or a Swede or whatever, coming to play for the team requires a visa to come to your team to play. So that's what the difference is with these three titles. All right. So hopefully, again, that helps clear things up. All right. So the other big news from this last week, and I didn't write it on here, but I do want to just talk about it real quick. Yes, Parker Moskal planning on playing for his team, the Monroe Moccasins. And a lot of people have kind of asked, how does that work logistically? All right, well, I'm hoping that somewhere along the line, we get to hear from Parker himself, and he can tell us exactly how that works, how he's planning on doing. But I know he's been training for a long time. If you didn't know, he wanted to play more than he did last year. He did participate in 3 games and had 4 points. Wanted to participate in more, and he was just going through some things health-wise, wasn't able to continue playing. He wants to still play. Yes, it's unusual, an owner playing for his own team, but stranger things have happened. You have Gordie Howe playing in 6 centuries, so there's different things that happen all over the place in the hockey world. So anyway, I'm hoping again, maybe before the season begins, whether it's on the Monroe Moccasins social page or somewhere, I hope we can hear directly from Parker, his thought process, how he's going to juggle all these different responsibilities, owning not just the Moccasins, but also the PD Ice Cats. How does this work? I would really be interested in hearing his story. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. All right, we did have one minor trade that happened a couple days ago. It was Darian Benchich, who was with the Binghamton Black Bears last year for a few games at the end of the year. He has been traded to the Watertown Wolves in exchange for financial considerations, and he has signed a standard contract with the Watertown Wolves. I know that neither Binghamton or Watertown announced the trade on their socials, but it did happen, and Benchich is now a member of the Watertown Wolves. So if you didn't look at the transactions page, maybe you wouldn't know that it even happened. But Benchich, he only played in 4 games last year with Binghamton, finished up schooling, and is ready to participate in the full season now. All right, let's see. This is big news. Disappointing, maybe, on some aspects for PD Ice Cats fans, but goaltender Brent Moran has been loaned to the Greensboro Gargoyles of the ECHL, of course. If you don't know, they are a brand new team this year in the ECHL, their first year. And so, yeah, he has been invited to participate in camp. He can play in the ECHL. He has played very, very well in the SPHL the last couple of years. The Ice Cats were very fortunate to be able to sign him. His Fed rights are still held by PD. Would I be surprised if he ends up making the Gargoyle squad? Not at all. He has the talent. But I know that PD was just thrilled with the prospect of having a tandem of Brent Moran and Ricardo Gonzalez in net. So, would have been one of the strongest tandems in the league. And it still might, okay? Just because this has happened, him joining the Gargoyles on loan, does not necessarily mean that that is going to stick. It very well could, but Moran could very well come back and say, okay, didn't work out in Greensboro, I'm ready to go. Ready to play for the Ice Cats. So we'll have to wait and see. This is a very tough, frustrating part of the year for us fans because we all just want to have the game start, have our roster set, and it just doesn't work that way. At this level of minor league hockey, there is a lot of turbulence, a lot of change, a lot of moving pieces and moving parts, and that goes into early November. So October, PD fans, the roster you see on October 10th may only be a shadow of the roster that you have for the majority of your year. And that's just the way it works out. That's part of being on the lower rungs of minor league hockey. It's very difficult to get used to. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on this. This is a great opportunity for Moran, and I hope he does well in camp. Okay, so we're going to end our news and notes segment just talking about what's coming up next here on the Fed League Flash. On Friday and Saturday, I am beginning the preseason analysis of all the teams. This upcoming weekend, we are focusing on the Empire Division. This is the division that I think was a little easier to quote-unquote figure out. And so I will be looking at some of the key players on each roster, how they've done in the past. Of course, we have a couple new teams. We'll kind of break things down, kind of try and see if we can say with some certainty, not really certainty, because again, this stage of the game, everything's kind of a guess, but we'll try and make a guesstimate as far as how your favorite team might finish. So that's this Saturday and Sunday coming up. Saturday, I'll be covering the Black Bears, the Bobcats, because don't forget they're in the Empire Division this year, the Hat Tricks, and the Watertown Wolves. And then on Sunday, we'll cover Indiana Sentinels, Port Huron Prowlers, and Topeka Scarecrows. And then the following weekend, the 4th and 5th of October, we will look at the Continental Division. That division's going to be tough. That's going to be real tough. So I'll just start by saying I could see every team in the Continental Division winning 25 games, at least 25 games. I think the division from top to bottom is that good. So anyway, we will look at that. hopefully we will have an interview that I will broadcast on Friday of next week. I'm not going to mention yet because I have a tentative agreement as far as a time to record with the individual. Somebody I think you'd be very interested in hearing from, but I don't want to say anything in case, life happens and I'm sorry, I can't record right now. So now we'll see what happens. But if we get this recorded, I'll let you know who I talked to and who you'll be hearing from. All right. So yeah, I want to get a couple more interviews done before the start of the season and posted for you guys. And then I want to try and do about one per month through the season. Just something else for you to enjoy here on the Fed League Flash. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're hitting like and subscribe. Please subscribe. And again, half of you that are watching, and thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Haven't subscribed? Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. The whole 9 yards. Also, make sure you're following me on Facebook. That's where I post all the news as it happens, and then we kind of break it down, talk about it here on YouTube. All right, thank you again so much for watching. I am Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash, and if we don't talk to you before then, we will talk to you this Saturday on YouTube about the Empire Division. All right, everyone, have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon.